All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, man. Whenever you may be watching this, it's your boy BOJ. Today is Tuesday, March the 17th, 2026, and we are here with another MoveQuest update. It brings me such joy these days to be able to talk about something that you feel comfortable is going to be around. First of all, you know, availability is the best ability. And then second of all, something that you're excited about being a part of, something that is a part of my day-to-day, something that is a part of something that I do whether I want to or not. I got to get up and move, right? And this is something that incentivizes that movement. And for me personally, it has been something that has encouraged and motivated even more movement than I had been getting in years prior. I am in my, what I like to call my second year, because I started in August of 2024 in MoveQuest, on my MoveQuest journey. And ladies and gentlemen, we are here in March of 2026, and we're still talking about how MoveQuest has continued to change our lives, have continued to change our perspective, our knowledge. We're learning so much about crypto and blockchain and all that different stuff along the journey. And it's not something that we have to force feed ourselves. This is something that we can attach to what we do in our daily lives. So I'm excited about that. While we know there are some crypto things that we need to know to be a part of the MoveQuest ecosystem and community, I think that these are things that we all need to learn anyway to take part in crypto. Things like having a wallet, things like how to acquire cryptocurrency, how to buy it from exchanges, maybe how to send it, of course, how to send it, not maybe, of course. So these things we learn along the way in the MoveQuest journey, and they add value to our cryptocurrency journey, because these are things that we need to know. Aside from that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to also mention that I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, and I am not your financial advisor, all right? I am just a guy on YouTube, right? But I love showing projects that have such promise like MoveQuest, and there's reasons why I like it, and there's reasons why I have made this my flagship platform. We're not going to go into all those reasons today, because I tend to go into those reasons every single time I do a video. So purposely today, we're going to give an update on where we are. We've got some exciting things to talk about. We've got this mirror match promo that is coming to, in our journey here at BOJ, is getting ready to come to a successful finish line ending. And I just want to clap it up. Sometimes you got to clap it up for yourself. Don't mind my laundry basket back there. Sometimes you got to clap it up for yourself because it does take a lot of commitment to go on a 90-day journey, whether it's a consecutive 90 days or it's kind of split up into a time frame. And for those of you that have been a part of the MoveQuest mirror match journey and you have completed your 90 days, I want to give another round of applause for you guys. And I'm going to give the whole thing. I'm going to let it run. Because honestly, what that took was a commitment, right? It took a commitment of you learning the application. You had to dig into what it was going to take to submit your proof of physical activity on a day-to-day basis, you know, how much Avalanche you were going to need. And towards the end, we've got the ability to use USDT on the AVAX chain and USDC as well. Both of those tokens allowed it to have a stable presence so that we can better plan out our submission fees and different things of that nature. So that's another thing I'm so happy to say, that if you guys haven't noticed, you can check your back office. For those of you that have not been submitting, maybe the reason was because that the Avalanche, you know, we've seen Avalanche go from as high as like 20, 30 bucks to down as low as $6, you know, $7. I think it's at like $10 right now. All right. So we've seen the price of Avalanche fluctuate. So that has been, sometimes it could be a little bit difficult to plan out your submissions when the value of the token is decreasing. But that is the beauty of cryptocurrency. We have things like stable coins, which allow us the opportunity to count on it pretty much being at one price, at that dollar, right? So I think that was a great addition that they made, and I'm excited that they decided to do that. So for those of you that are still submitting, for those of you that are still on the 90-day journey, continue on, keep on strolling through, Keep on doing the best that you can and submit on a day-to-day basis. Don't forget that this is really about our personal movement. While it is a financial opportunity, while it is an opportunity to take part in the crypto space, let's not forget the benefits that being more active for a consistent span of time, what that can do for your body, what that can do for your mind, what that can do for your spirit and your overall quality of life. We are not lost on that. I am totally not lost on that. Personal movement and being intentional about my movement on a day-to-day basis has changed my life. That neither here nor there. I encourage everyone to go on their own journey, but I think that MoveQuest is the perfect tool to combine financial wealth and health together. All right. So a couple things I want to talk about today past the mirror match. I want to go ahead and jump into the mirror match actually and what it kind of has looked like for me. I have 1 day left. I'm excited about that. Now, what I have been doing over this mirror match process, and for those of you that don't know what this was an opportunity that has been given to the folks that are in the MoveQuest community. For those of you that have submitted, whatever level you are miners, whatever level you feel comfortable, whatever opportunity you may have wanted in the future, because there's many reasons and ways that people have taken advantage of the minor match challenge and are still taking advantage of the minor match challenge. What the minor match challenge enables us to do is take a part of MoveQuest expansion into the different blockchains that they are expanding in and adding on to their project protocol. It gives us an opportunity to take part in that just from taking part of the minor match challenge. And for those of us that finished that whole 90 days, right? The 90 days of submissions that is here out of the 152, which I think is a great opportunity to, while you have that 90 days, you also have quite some grace period to be able to, still kind of learn and try to figure this thing out. And you may miss a day on submissions. I know I missed a couple days. I missed a few days, not just a couple. I missed a few days because I wanted to make sure that I'm not missing out on these miners. I had to make sure that I had the right amount of avalanche, and that is a sacrifice to make. Sometimes you have to take money from here and there, and depending on your own life circumstances, you may have had to make a financial sacrifice to finish out this challenge. But one thing that I did in the beginning of the challenge is I mapped it out just a little bit. I said, okay, I know my submission fees on a day-to-day basis are $7.43, right? I know that this is a 90-day challenge, right? So all I have to do is out of this 152 days, submit 90 days. And what I will be rewarded in is matching the docking slots and the miners that I have in those docking slots. For those of you that have been paying attention to my journey, I have been a 18 docking slot Titan holder for quite some time now. And while that does wonders for me when it comes down to what I feel I have the opportunity to mine on a day-to-day basis, I have also had to sacrifice in submission fees. There's a lot of folks out there that are taking advantage of the Phantoms and the Trailblazers and the Navigators and the Explorers. And ladies and gentlemen, that is great. But at the same time, you're not having the opportunity to mine at 7,200 mining power. So it's a give and take, right? You make a sacrifice for the miners that you want and the power that you want to mine with, and in turn, you see how much you mine, right? So I wanted this same opportunity that I gave myself, that I set myself up for before this challenge. I wanted the same opportunity on all the different blockchains that we're coming to, and that is the Solana chain, the Polygon chain, Arbitrum, coming to BNB. MoveQuest will have its own MoveQuest blockchain. And I believe there's one other that I'm missing. It might be Base. I forget the one other that I'm missing right now. But all in all, we are expanding into those communities. And please be understanding crypto. Every one of these tokens that we expand into, these ecosystems that we expand into, they have their own communities. Just like Avalanche had its own community, MoveQuest has its own community, and we're looking to partner with other communities, right? That is what makes cryptocurrency special. It gives communities power again. And I do believe that MoveQuest is going to be the perfect partner to the fitness community. It's going to be the perfect partner to folks that, are in crypto, that like their token. They love their They love their Solana. They love their BNB. They may have been accumulating the token for a while, but now they have the opportunity to mine with their physical bodies. Then they may want to jump into that opportunity. I always love to say that because MoveQuest has a legit token that I can swap and turn into other tokens, I'm literally with my physical body, I'm mining whatever token I want right now. You know, that's kind of how I see it in the broader scheme of things. And of course, we hold on to our MQT because we want to see the price of that increase. But at some point, when that price of MQT gets to where we want to sell it, we'll be able to do that and turn it into whatever we want. And how did we acquire that MQT? We either purchased it, we either mined it with our physical movement on a day-to-day basis, or we got it in the hatchery, or however we got it, right? So I want every opportunity to get it in however way I could do it. So back to my initial statement when I was talking about the submission fees. I was getting my calculator out. When we first started this challenge, I did some math, right? If I know that I'm gonna be paying $7.43 a day, right, which I can get from my dashboard, it lets me know exactly how much I'm paying with the active miners that I have currently in my docking slots right now, right? So I know exactly what I'm going to be doing, what I'm been paying, what I'm sacrificing. If I take these miners out, if I want it to decrease. And here's the thing that was going on with this challenge, right? And I want to make sure that I say this too, for those of you that have had some confusion about as we get towards the end of this challenge. And I do understand that there were some UI things that were not looking the way that made people feel comfortable, that they could lower their mining power after the challenge was over. I'm not lost on the fact that there's a lot of folks that are out there that made the sacrifice to mine at a higher level, or to at least submit on a day-to-day basis at that higher level, so that they could have the opportunity to have those docking slots and miners when all the blockchains launch, right? And I'm not lost on the fact that some people may want to, at the end of that challenge, get a little bit of relief, right? I think it is important that the engagement is still there. And whatever level you can do the engagement is whatever you can do the engagement. If you want to decrease the level of your engagement, that is up to you. I'm not telling you to do that, because you have your own things that you're sacrificing when you do that. You're not going to be able to mine as much MQT. You know, you're not mining with the most powerful miners that you have the capability of doing. And that may be a sacrifice that you're willing to make. That is your choice. And I want everyone to feel comfortable in making that choice, because that is what decentralization is all about. It's about what you want out of something. It's about what you want to do. Your own personal goals and vision and dreams are what's going to propel you to make the decisions that you make in this space, and especially here in MoveQuest. All right. So because I want more, I'm not, even when the minor match challenge is over, I'm not going to do that. Right. I'm not going to decrease the level of power that I'm mining with, just because I'll decide either not to submit that day if I don't have enough. You know, and here's the thing, there's so many opportunities for us to, and I know I'm kind of going all over the place, but there's so many opportunities for us to be rewarded through MoveQuest, and it's the things that it allows us to do in the ecosystem through sharing and all the different stuff that we have here to earn our submission fees and have them taken care of by just sharing this opportunity with some other people. But anyway, let's get back to what I was saying. Submission fees, $7.43. Challenge, 90 days, right? Now, there are other things that you can accomplish in this challenge. There's other day points, like if you weren't to get the 90 days, there's a 60-day mark, there's a 30-day mark that you can still earn 40% or 15% match on what you have in your docking slot. So don't feel like you're just not going to get anything if you don't complete the 90 days. There are other benchmarks to achieve, and you should be proud of that. But I wanted to get that 90 days. So if I do $7.43 times 90, right? That's $668 worth of avalanche that I have to be ready to commit to the challenge, right? Now, it's not at one time. It could be at one time if I decided to just purchase, you know, I'll round up to $700 worth of avalanche. And then if I was doing this challenge today, I would have put it in USDT and just had it there, sitting there. So every day I get into the application, I know I have enough to get through my 90 days, whether I have the best day mining and movement and all that stuff or not, right? I'm still giving myself a chance to participate in the challenge for the duration so that I can achieve the goal that I want to achieve. So when I looked at that, I said, okay, well, $668, I'm willing to commit that over a 90-day period, especially if it's just $7 and some odd cents a day. that I submit. Now, did I do that consecutive? No. But look at here. Time goes, ladies and gentlemen. Time flies. It really does. Back in December when I saw this challenge, I was like, wow, this is a great opportunity. March seems like a lifetime away from here. But hey, if we can just continue to do what we've been doing over the last year and a half, I don't see why I can't achieve this. And now look at here. We're 1 day away. You know, my dad, he submitted every single day. He got there before me. I'll clap it up for him real quick. All right. Along with everybody that was able to get that challenge in. Ladies and gentlemen, time flies. And the opportunity that I'll have is amazing. Just for that commitment of right around $670. And of course, what was I gonna say? What other factor was in there? Of course, the $1 every 10 days that I decide to claim my MQT. You know, you could add that in there. But ladies and gentlemen, the reward that I'm receiving, these Titans, ladies and gentlemen, they are not cheap. I'm not here to tell you that having Titans in your docking slot is cheap, because it's not. It's expensive. You have to get Vanguard miners and then merge 2 of them together to get 1 Titan. So for those of you that are interested at that level, reach out to me. But understand, you will have to have your crypto ready. But here's the opportunity for those just getting started, ladies and gentlemen. The basic miners, the entry-level miners, the ones that are 100% mining power, they are $100, $150. The Trailblazer is $100. The Explorer is $150 worth of Avalanche. You can get them by just going ahead and going to the store, purchasing that amount in Q chips, right? And it'll tell you how much it is here. Each Q chip is 10 cents. We are also getting Q chips from our daily submissions, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to touch on that in a second. All right. So that was worth the commitment for me, just to sum up that whole, the miner match challenge. It was worth the commitment. I have gone just about 90 days. We're 99% the way through. We got 89 days in, and I'm excited. Now for this reset button, I want to let you guys know that when I'm done with this reset button is going to go away because the challenge is over. I also want to let everybody know that, this was another thing I started talking about. The UI, when the challenge was just ending for people and they were changing back, you know, they may have decreased the level of mining power to fit where they are now. They finished the challenge. I want you guys to be rest assured that what you finish the challenge with is what you will be rewarded with. So if you decide to move your miners down, it's not going to be a penalty on you as far as this challenge is concerned. You're still going to be receiving the docking slots and the miners that you earned throughout this period. So I want you to be rest assured that that's going to happen. All right. You finished the challenge. You did what you were supposed to do, what you felt you wanted to do. And ladies and gentlemen, you should be excited about what you just completed, because I know I am. And even though I don't have the want to decrease my mining power for any reason, for those of you that do fit that category, be rest assured that you will still receive, as far as I've been able to receive. That was just a UI issue that was showing something different before, but you will be getting the miners in the docking slots that you earned throughout this period. Now, for those of you that have been, I have been seeing in the Discord some stuff about the hatcheries, right? Some folks have decided that they're going to, instead of submitting their proof of physical activity, and I think they meant at that level, but some folks may have understood this as submitting in general. They're just going to buy MQT and put it in the hatchery. You only get the rewards from the hatchery if you submit. Now, it doesn't matter what level you submit on. You could be at the lowest level and have $10,000 worth of MQT in the nest, and then when the nest is over, you get into the golden hatchery if you can, if it has enough space in any one of these levels here, and you do what you do, but you still have to submit on a day-to-day basis to get the reward from the hatchery. The hatchery does not, it'll hold your crypto in here if you don't submit, but you're not going to get the daily reward unless you submit, all right? So submitting to the blockchain is what allows MoveQuest to continue to do what it does. This whole ecosystem is built on our submissions to the proof of physical activity and other things, of course, but That is the premise of it, all right? The reason we are being rewarded in the hatchery is because we are submitting our proof of physical activity on the blockchain. The reason I continue to see my current reward value go up with the 540 MQT that I had deposited in this in the golden hatchery so far, and my reward of 152 MQT that I would have available once all of these cards have completed in total. And of course, they have different times that they're going to finish. One of them is done in 35 days. I got one that's done in 290 days. All right. So they all clear at different times, and I can decide whether I want to collect it, renew it, whatever I feel like I want to do at that time. But ladies and gentlemen, you only get the reward from the hatchery if you are submitting your proof of physical activity on the blockchain. And ladies and gentlemen, it is very simple to do that. All right. It is done on your application. All right. So you have to have the MoveQuest app. The MoveQuest app is in the App Store, the Google Play Store, wherever you get your applications on your mobile phone, you should be able to find and download for free the MoveQuest application. All right. Now that is where some of your crypto knowledge will have to come into play, because as you sign up, you will need the wallet address to your, what I'm suggesting is you use MetaMask. MetaMask is the easiest place that I have found to be able to not only access this back office that you see right here from a mobile device, but also be able to just go from the mobile app of MetaMask, copy what I need from there, which is my wallet address, go right over to the MoveQuest app where I will need to paste my wallet address so that it can read what is going on in the decentralized world of our wallets and do what it needs to do to link itself to MoveQuest. All right. That is very essential to being a part of MoveQuest. So there is plenty of help, ladies and gentlemen. If you go to the video section, there's plenty of help on how to get started in MoveQuest. Everything down from how to download and set up the MoveQuest app to how to create a MoveQuest account and claim phantom miners. Phantom miners are the perfect starting point for folks that are just getting started, still trying to figure out what level they can work with in MoveQuest, whether they can do the 18 phantom miners and do that submission of $1.80 a day and do everything that involves that, or just start at the miner level or whatever it is that they want to do. They get a good feel for that. Now, the thing about the phantom miners is you don't own them. All right. When you get your own miners, when you get those NFTs that you purchase with the Q chips and all that great stuff that you have the ability to do, you will own those NFTs. And then when leasing comes, you can lease them. When the marketplace comes, you can sell them and all the different things. You can send them currently now. If I wanted to gift one of my Titans to someone that is in the MoveQuest ecosystem, all I would need is their wallet address and I can send it to them and they could use it for themselves. These are NFTs that we own, but the phantoms, we do not own them. They are leased to us. They're pretty much a leasing the phantom trailblazer mining power so that we can participate in the ecosystem. Still submit, of course, but for free, pretty much no money out of our pocket to start. All right. Those phantom miners, you can have 18 of them at a time working for you at 100% mining power and be able to take part in the ecosystem, mine MQT. That is your MQT, right? You get to mine and keep that MQT and you have them for like 135 days. It used to be 90 days, but MoveQuest isn't going anywhere, right? MoveQuest is a decentralized ecosystem that has been established now. And it's going to be having its own blockchain. Ladies and gentlemen, MoveQuest isn't going anywhere. What we are loving is the engagement in the community. What I'm loving to see is folks' physical bodies changing and their lives changing and their quality of life changing, getting better and increasing. And people are learning about crypto in a safe way and in a way that they can understand a healthy token. And you know, this token launched at $1 a year ago. And while we've seen it go up and down and all around, we've seen it settle still at $6, which for the folks that were in at the beginning and have been holding and all that stuff, that is still looking at a very promising token that has shown nothing but its ability to sustain itself in a market that is very, very volatile. Crypto, as we know, is very volatile. And we've seen it be volatile, but MoveQuest has continued to be a strong token. How to create a new MetaMask wallet, even that video was in there. MoveQuest is 75 seconds for those of you that may want to share what MoveQuest is with others. You have that opportunity to do that as well. in a 75-second format, which I think is a very powerful way to share in mass. All right. And of course, you will be rewarded, ladies and gentlemen, when you help people get their miners, when you help people go into their store and purchase their Q chips that they'll need to have to purchase some of their entry-level miners on their app. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get a 50% reward for that. As a matter of fact, you get that immediately. So just to paint a picture for you, if I were to help somebody getting started, right? Their docking slots, they open for $100. You need to open your docking slot. If you want these docking slots that are right here in the docking slot section, I have all 18 that are available to me right now. I have purchased and opened them, and they used to be $80. So I got them at a time where I only had to spend, we do 80 times 18 just to make it easy on my brain, $1,400 to open all the docking slots, right? Over that time, $1,400 to open all these docking slots and have them open for life. That's a drop in the bucket. You don't have to do that immediately, but you do that over time. You do that as you see fit. You do that as you learn more about MoveQuest and take more part of the ecosystem. You might even start sharing with a couple folks that have just, they open their first few and they get their first couple miners, and now you have enough money to open some more docking slots. You know what I'm saying? So all of this stuff, it works if you work. Every part of this ecosystem works if you work. If you just do a little bit of something, it works for you. All right. It has worked for me. So I can speak from personal experience. So that 18 docking slots that I opened, I spent $1,400 over the last 2 years. Right. So what I was getting at, of course, is when you open these docking slots and you purchase your miners, you purchase enough Q chips to get those miners, you're going to be getting a 50% commission in Avalanche, or the native token that you have folks purchasing their miners on, or their Q chips in, I should say. You know, right now we're purchasing Q chips with Avalanche because we are only currently working on the Avalanche chain. But when we launch on the Polygon chain, and we launch on the BNB, and we launch on Solana and all those different chains, the MoveQuest chain, we are going to be able to purchase these Q chips with those tokens. And in doing so, in helping folks to do that, we will be receiving a 50% commission on those Q chip purchases, in which we can use and claim immediately. As a matter of fact, I've got a little bit in mine right now. I got like 0.0877 Avalanche, right? So I click on that, it prompts a MetaMask screen here, and it's like 90 cents worth of Avalanche. But that's something, right? That means that somebody spent $2 in Avalanche, or spent in their Q chips, and it doesn't matter whether they spend $2 or $2,000. I'm going to get 50% off of their purchases in Q chips, in which they are using to participate in buying their own miners and owning them, right? They're not the phantom miners. These are miners that you own, that you will then have the opportunity to lease later. And who's to say that these miners are going to stay at $100 and $150? As the community continues to grow and, you know, these miners become more valuable, they're going to increase in price. So my thing right now is like, yo, get them while they're $100, $150, right? Those entry-level miners. Now, yes, if you want to improve that, you want to evolve your miners, you go to your miners, you hit evolve, and let's say I wanted to turn a navigator into something different. If I wanted to, hold on, it should be showing more of my miners here, so maybe it's just loading, because I have quite a bit of miners. Refresh the page. That I could decide to, you know, turn into higher level miners. Now, just to show you what it's showing right out there, my miners go. You have the ability to evolve and merge, all right? So I can evolve the navigators into trailblazers. I can evolve trailblazers into vanguards, or explorers into vanguards. I can evolve up to that vanguard level. But to get a Titan, I have to merge 2 vanguards. Now you can only merge vanguards, all right? But as you do that up here, if you click your navigator, say if I want to click the navigator and turn it straight into a vanguard, or do I want to turn it into a Titan? What do I need to do? If I want to turn them into a Titan, I'm going to need to have 2 navigators turn into 2 vanguards and then merge it into a Titan, right? That's going to cost $800 worth of MQT, which is 131 bucks. All right. So like I told you guys before, you know, even down to, if I go to, let's look at the Trailblazer level. Let's say you got Trailblazers and you want to have Titan, you want to have a Titan now. To turn those two Trailblazers into Vanguards, merge them into Titans, is going to cost 98 MQT, which is 600 bucks, right? So there you go. You can choose to evolve that. When you hit the evolve, it's going to prompt you to confirm it into the, and right now I'm using the, for context, I'm using Google Chrome, which has the MetaMask extension. This is not the only browser that will allow you to have the MetaMask extension. So just go to MetaMask, their website, I think it's metamask.io, and check that out and see which browser you can use. I use both the browser when I'm using the computer, and I use my DApp browser on the MetaMask app while I'm on the go. So if I wanted to look at the same kind of stuff, if I wanted to evolve and do all that stuff on my mobile device, I can do that with my phone. As a matter of fact, I might as well prompt that up while I'm just sitting here. We're just talking. We're having a good time, right? Those of you that are still watching, thank you for watching. I like to do these updates because some of these things, some folks may not know. They may not know how to get Titans, and they may have the resources to do them. They want to mine at that level, but they don't. They maybe haven't gone to the help center and watched the videos and how to upload, how to merge and different things of that nature. They may not have done that. So, and me being a person that has been in this ecosystem for quite some time, you know, I have quite a few miners. So I have no reason to change anything that I'm doing or evolve or anything like that. I'm just in the swing of my own journey, right? All I have to do is submit my daily physical activity and we're cooking with gas, right? So all that being said, you have a lot of opportunity here. Hatching miners, you can hatch some Vanguards if you want to do that. There's a hatchery for that. It's specifically for getting you some Vanguards that you can turn into Titans immediately, all right? But you will need to have some of the things that they're asking for, all right? And they'll tell you exactly what you need to be able to incubate those, but you will get those miners immediately. My suggestion, if you're doing all this, you might as well go in here and open all these docking slots, all right? They're $100 now to open per docking slot. All you got to do is preload your Avalanche, your MetaMask wallet with Avalanche, and you should be able to, even on the dashboard, there's a link to Sushi Swap where you can purchase MQT. You will need some MQT to open up some of your docking slots, and it'll show you what you need when you go to your own personal docking slot. Of course, I can't show you that right here, but hold on, I can show you. I have a test account, so let me do this. I know I'm jumping around, but I think this might be of value. So I have a test account, right? This test account here, because I have both my MetaMask linked to this, I can show you guys that in Avalanche, oh, it's still 80 bucks here. Would you look at that? I refresh the page just to make sure. It's still $80 to open your docking slots, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. So listen, you might want to take advantage of this right now. All right, get your Avalanche in your wallets. If you need to get your MQT, make sure you go to Sushi Swap. And if you've got your MetaMask open here, then you can do that. All right. Now, one thing that I did test a couple episodes ago, and one thing I want to show you guys that worked, is I sent myself a Titan, right? So I can decide to put this Titan. I should be able to put it in a, docking slot. This one right here. So I hit that docked button. It says red now. So we're going to hit confirm. Should turn it to green. And we should see it in the docking slot here, because everybody gets one free docking slot, right? So as you can see, I can put my Titan in there, and I can, you know, that one Titan is 41 cents worth of Avalanche, right? But see, here's what I'm able to do at that point. If you wanted to participate in the hatchery, you can do that. You have one miner in there working for you. You jump in the hatchery, you might have a whole bunch of Avalanche, right? You just want to mine, you just want to continue to submit and jump in the nest real quick and earn on, you know, 50,000, 500,000, whatever. Crazy number, 303,000. That's crazy. I don't even put that in there. But anyway, you understand. You can mine. You can still participate in the hatcheries for submitting your proof of physical activity. So that's something that you can take part in. In the store, I want to show you guys something, because this is a good way for me to show you guys how the Q-chips work and how to take part in earning from helping people get their Q-chips. So this test account that I have is for me to kind of look at what the entry folks are looking at, because I am a person that's on the Titan level. Some of the things that you guys experience coming in, I'm not necessarily having to go through, because I've been involved since it was before MoveQuest, right? So a lot of this stuff I've learned over time. Some of you guys will be coming in new. Some of you guys want to learn how to earn and how immediate it could be for helping people, right? So I know that I think I got like $100 worth of Avalanche in my MetaMask in this wallet. So what I want to do is I want to purchase enough Q-chips to get to where I have $100 in Q-chips so that I can purchase my first miner, right? Each Q-chip is 10 cents. So for me to get $100 in Q-chips to purchase my first miner, I need 1,000 Q-chips, all right? So I have $100 in my Avalanche wallet. It's gonna say, hey, you're to purchase 1,000 Q-chips. Do you wanna do that? Well, do I not have enough? Oh, that's why. I have some in USDT and in, okay, all right. So that's why. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this in at 500 instead, right? Just so I can show you guys, $50 worth of Q-chips, 500 Q-chips. That's not gonna get that's not gonna be enough for the Explorer miner, right? But I'm gonna show you guys how immediate this purchase of Q-chips is as far as what you're able to earn, right? So I'm doing $50 worth of Q-chips. I'm telling it confirm. It's gonna run through its purchase here. So I've successfully purchased 500 Q-chips. Great. Now, here's what I wanna do. I wanna go back to my other account, right? So I'm gonna switch back to my initial account, my main wallet here. And then I'm gonna go to the networking, because the test account is under me, right? So for doing that, helping that person, myself, get enough Q-chips to, start accumulating Q-chips, I'm immediately rewarded with that, right? You see that $2.463 Avalanche here? I can claim this immediately. If I hit claim, confirm, and just that quickly, for the work that I helped somebody else do so that they can start in the ecosystem, get their Q-chips, or start the process of accumulating their Q-chips, because now we're getting Q-chips for our submissions. So that 500 Q-chips that they just purchased, while that was $50 worth of Avalanche, and they have the Q-chips now, but they can now submit on the blockchain. They're earning their Q-chips from their submissions, and they can be a fast track to purchasing their first miner, right? But for helping them to see that was important to get fast tracked, or whatever level they're ready to start on, I'm able to be instantly rewarded for that, right? So if I go back to my the test account, which just made that purchase, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go to the dashboard. I want to make sure that these Q-chips are here. As a matter of fact, I want to go to wallets. So I should be able to see that my Q-chips are here in the connected wallet, right? So here's one thing that is very important. When you're purchasing your Q-chips, you want to be able to send them to your app wallet, right? You need to be able to put them in your app wallet so that you can use them. Now, right here on the dashboard in the wallet section, there's a section right here that says fuel your in-app wallet, right? Now, you have many things that you can choose from. You have the Avalanche that you can send from your MetaMask wallet, which is this wallet address here, to your in-app wallet, which is this address here. That's the 2 wallet. You can also send MQT, Q-chips, USDT, USDC, and BMED, which is one of the other tokens that we have in the ecosystem, right? So I can fuel from my outside to the inside wallet. So what I want to do is I want to take this 500 Q-chips that I have in my external wallet now that I just purchased, and I want to be able to send them to my in-app wallet so that I can use them to purchase miners, all right? So those new folks out there, don't think just because you purchased your Q-chips here that you don't have to send them to your in-app wallet so then you can use them in your in-app wallet and actually acquire those miners, right? So you send it, it's gonna cost you a cent. Well, I don't even think it costs, yeah, a cent in Avalanche for its network fee, right? So you wanna always make sure you have the native token, whichever token you, for those of you that may be watching this months ahead when all the different blockchains are there, you wanna make sure you're using the native token there. Let's see, I wanna see that it went through. So I'm gonna refresh. And as we can see now, in the app wallet, I have 500 Q-chips, right? Now, these Q-chips, I'm pretty sure you can also send them eventually to others. Now, I do think that you have to do that externally, like when we just claimed those, they were in our wallet. So to add your Q-chip to your MetaMask, you would need to go to the Help Center, go to Contracts, go to the Q-chip section here. You copy this wallet address, right? And then just like we added MQT as a token, we add Q-chips as a token. So then you'll be able to see them, right? Now, from that point, when you can see them in your MetaMask wallet, you should be able to send them to whatever other Avalanche wallet or folks that can, receive Q-chips. You can be able to send them to them. So I can send Q-chips. I should be able to. I haven't tried to do this yet, so I want to be transparent on that. But that's what crypto allows you to do. And it's already been said on the calls. Lynette has already said this on the calls, that Q-chips are going to be listed at some point. All right? They may not be listed now, but they are 10 cents to get them. So just want to make sure everybody is understanding that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do my best to get to my phone. I have my phone in my hand, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the wallet, right, to my test account. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this address. Now, while I'm doing that, I'm going to stop the share here. I can prepare to share my device. Should I copy that? All right, we're going to go to MoveQuest. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign out of my wallet right now that I have already signed, which is my main wallet. I'm going to disconnect it. I want to show you guys how easy it is once you get the application to participate in MoveQuest and get rolling. All right, so we're going to do AirPlay share. I think this should be good. Actually, this might even work a little bit up. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Might. We'll see. I'll connect the cable. All right. Open the MoveQuest app. All right, here we go. So it says, welcome to MoveQuest. Let's get moving. All right. So I already got my wallet address copied from my MetaMask. So all I did was I went to MetaMask, went and copied my wallet address, hit that copy button, right? Jump back over into the MoveQuest wallet, right? Let's get moving. So choose your network. You'll see that there are some other options here. You want to make sure that you're using the Avalanche option, but it will show the other options here. Now, I probably shouldn't have, but I'm just trying to switch through here so you can kind of see what's going to be coming. See, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon is coming soon. Arbitrum is coming soon. Optimism is coming soon. Solana is coming soon, I believe. And now we're getting back to Avalanche where we need to be. All right. So let's get back on Avalanche. We're going to hit confirm. All right. This is going to say link external wallet. This wallet access is read only. So copy your wallet address and paste it on the next screen. All right, so I already got it in there. I'm gonna click on it, paste it. All right, now it's already showing me in my spending wallet and my external wallet. So in my spending wallet that I already have, I have $5 worth of Avalanche. Now, for you guys that are new, you won't have anything in your spending wallet yet, but I want you to take note of this spending wallet address, because this is where you're going to be sending your Avalanche when you submit your proof of physical activity, whether you're submitting 10 cents a day or $7.43 a day like me. This is where you're going to be sending your, whether you got Avalanche, whether you got the USDT on the Avalanche chain, whether you're using USDC on the Avalanche chain, both of those are stable coins. You want to make sure that you copy this spending wallet address and save it somewhere. There is a double square up there that you can actually copy it right now. All right. So you can do that. Funding, it's telling you right then, fund your spending wallet, send AVAX to your in-app spending wallet for the blockchain fees and transactions. It's clearly telling you that. So once you do that, you click that button there, you can hit confirm once you've sent, and it will show you once you have sent it in there what the balance is. You can refresh the balance. So if it's not showing what you had sent over there and you want to make sure that it got over there, you hit refresh, it'll show, hit confirm. All right, so you'll have a pin that you decide to put in. I'm gonna press a random, okay, just to make sure. So I'm not gonna share my screen for this. I'm gonna stop the share while I put my pin number in. All right, and then what it'll do is, I can jump back over here now because everyone will have to use a 6-digit pin. All right, we're gonna jump back over there. And once you're done putting the pin in that you want, slide that thing on over. All right, now you are in the application. Okay, now you are in the application. All right, so let's see, you can decide to buy boosts and all that great stuff. This is where you submit your proof of physical activity. So I'm gonna submit, right? I have Avalanche in the wallet right now. My submission fees, I have enough for that. I can submit without boosts. It'll ask me if I want to do that, right? Now I have the option to come back over here and purchase boosts, right? Now these boosts cost MQT. So you want to make sure that you have some MQT in your wallet. I have 5 MQT in my wallet right now. So I have plenty of MQT to be able to jump in here and purchase some boosts if I want to. Boosts. So the rest boosts I want to make sure that I have some of, because this allows me to essentially take a rest day. I'm going to have some busy days in my life, I know, but I'm going to also have some days that are not so busy. And on those days that are not so busy, I am able to have, maybe I need to send some, do I have MQT in my spending wallet? Let me make sure. So this is my spending wallet. It says I have 5 MQT, and this is my external wallet. So I'm not sure why it didn't let me buy a boost right there. But let me make sure it'll let me submit without the boost. I'll submit anyway for that. Execution reverted. I think I might have had this issue before, where it didn't let me submit. And one thing that I needed to do is I needed to go to the settings in my, I'm gonna stop, make sure I'm sharing the desktop really quickly here, y'all, because this is something that happened to me before. It wouldn't let me submit for whatever reason. And I needed to go into my settings, and I needed to then reset my pin. I needed to go and put my pin in there that I wanted and save it. All right, that was something that I had to do. So I'm gonna stop the share really quickly while I do that. So if you ever had that problem, I want to make sure that this is the thing that did it, because it's going to prompt you to confirm that on the chain here. All right, and then I'll refresh the page. All right, my username is going to stay the same. Now I'm going to exit out of the app, and I'm going to reload the app. I don't mind doing a little troubleshooting live. I think it's important. All right, so let me get back over into the app so you guys can see if this is going to work the way it should now. I'm gonna do a test real quick just to make sure. Transaction in progress. Boom. Okay, so it did fix that. So let's go ahead and jump back over here so you guys can see what I just saw. All right. So if you ever have that issue where it's saying executed reverted over and over and over again, what I want you to do is I want you to go into the DApp, whether you've got to do that on your desktop or your phone. You go to the settings and then you go to your PIN. All right. All you got to do is make sure that you update that PIN. You can use the same PIN that you just used. Make sure you save it. It's going to prompt it on the chain, right? It's going to do a transaction on the, it's going to do something on the chain, right? I don't know the exact word for it. Waleed would know it. But what it allowed me to do is then do my submission. So what I think that now fixes is the ability to buy boosts because we're linked the right way. So let me just test it. I'm going to go ahead and buy one performance boost. I know I've got enough MQT to make this happen because it's only 0.115 MQT to purchase the boost. All right. Transaction in progress. We're already getting even further than we did before, and we should see boost purchased successfully. So now I'm going to go down to those rest boosts that I was talking about. These rest boosts essentially take my best day and they allow me to use it on the day that I chose as my rest day. So I get to take my best day and use it for my rest day. So that way I am able to take part and still mine at a level that I'd like to stay consistent in, even in the day that I didn't have the most consistent day. All right. The limit boosts are boosts that take your limits to new limits, right? So when you start, you have 10,000 steps that you can get, right? But if I do 100% boost on my limits, I now have the capabilities to do 20,000 steps and mine on those instead of being capped at 10,000. And that'll do that for all the different factors, right? And I'll show you guys that in a second. And then of course the performance boost, we bought one of those. So I think that I can go ahead into here and show you the submission with the boosts, right? So limit boosts and performance boosts you can use at the same time, right? You cannot use limit boosts, performance boosts, and decide to use a rest boost. So if you use that rest boost, it's gonna take the best day, which was my March 15th day, as far as my available shares that I can mine with my mining power, right? And I can be able to use that. But if I use the performance boost, I can no longer use the rest boost. You can only stack the limit and performance boost. Now you can use any one of these levels. I didn't purchase any of the 10, 25, 50%, 75% on the limit. I didn't purchase 10% or 20% on the performance. Only purchased the top limit on 100% on limit and 30% on performance. So what I'm going to do right now, I can kind of see what I want to use my rest day for something else later. So I'm going to go ahead and use my limit and performance boost. You have to burn them first, right? So you click burn. It'll handle its business on the chain and do what it needs to do and burn those boosts, right? So now it takes those away. They're used, and you can see the statistics that it's moved it up to, the shares that I earned there. And then I can submit my proof of physical activity just like that, right? And it's that simple, all right? Now, you do want to make sure that you have whatever you need in Avalanche to be able to do that submission, that deposit. I have 5.62 Avalanche in here to use for submissions. I have those 500 Q chips. Y'all remember those? All right. So if we were to go to miners, right, I want to show you guys this here. So I don't have any miners to claim here, but I can assemble miners, right? And this is where I would use my Q chips. So if I hit assemble, there's two options. I have the $1,000 for the Q chips to get the Trailblazer, and I have the $1,500 worth of Q chips to get the Explorer. All right. So what I would need to do is I need to have enough Q chips to be able to get and purchase those Explorers or the Trailblazers or whatever I want to assemble here. Right. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. So what you will need to do is you'll need to make sure that you purchase enough Q chips to get your miners, so that when you assemble them, when they come together here, you can then go to your, you should have your mining dock on the bottom right, and you can plug them in, all right? Make sure you guys can see what I'm seeing. Yeah, you can plug them in. To unlock them here, you can unlock them back here. You know, they tell you how much Avalanche is going to cost to do that. You can take the ones that you have in here and remove them from the dock if you like. I could take this Titan out if I want to. I'm not going to, but it might be worth it to take it out if I want to mine with more mining power, especially if I know that I have 18 Trailblazers that I can claim from the Phantom level and be able to use them and mine at 1800% mining power instead of 400 mining power. So it all plays in what you want to do. But what I suggest for the long term, for those of you that see the long-term vision, you want to open your docking slot. You want to purchase your miners. You want to get your Q chips. You want to continue to submit, because all of those things are going to allow you to continue to participate in the ecosystem in a strong way. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, they have MoveQuest customer support, and I think that's a huge deal. And mind you, this is my test account, so it gives me the opportunity to show you guys kind of what it's going to look like for you as a new person. You might be mining at a lower level. You might not be mining. See, I haven't mined on my test account in a while, but for this level right here, I mined, you know, it's coming out to at 0.01 MQT. You may not be mining a whole lot of MQT, you know, and I haven't done any mining on this in quite some time. So anyway, maybe I'll start submitting on this test account more often. I probably should have submitted during the challenge, but I was so focused on making sure that my account had my other account had what I wanted it to have. So all that being said, if I were to go here to MetaMask, I wanted to show you guys, right? So you can see your MoveQuest in there if you've added the token. The USDT tether, I made sure I have some in there because I can do submissions with that now. An Avalanche, just a little bit in there just to make sure everything that I want to do transaction-wise back and forth, I can do that because it only takes a few cents to be able to do that. Being able to access the Web3 on your MetaMask app, all right? It has a browser. So for those of you that did not know, MetaMask and other decentralized wallets, they usually have browsers that allow you to participate in what they call Web3, right? So all I have to do is I'd go up here and I'd say MoveQuest.com, right? It's going to give me some options to press. Search for MoveQuest.com on Google or MoveQuest.com. I'm going to hit the top one so I can go straight there, right? What it's going to do is going to bring me to the dashboard. All right. Now I want to make sure that I'm in the account that I want. So this is my main account. All right. But you have the ability to switch I mean, you can have as many as 10 different accounts. So it's very easy to switch. That's the beauty of having a wallet like this and participating in decentralized functions like MoveQuest. Like, this is not asking me to take part in this. It's not asking me for any email address or anything like that. It's not asking me for that. As a matter of fact, I can go to, probably could add another wallet in here. I'm going to add this one. I don't have any Avalanche in it, but if I were a new person, right? Let me make sure it's on there. All right. So now I've got this. This is like a brand new. There's no Avalanche in this wallet. There's nothing that can, you know, if I click on dashboard here, this wallet, this is what the new person is going to see. All right. So you want to go to let's continue. All right. This is letting me know that it's connected to this new wallet that I just had. Right. Now, as a new person signing up, if you're under me, I want to type in Bank of Gerald. All right. It's going to say my code checks out. You hit save. Then it's going to ask me to do a transaction in Avalanche. So you want to make sure you have at least a cent of Avalanche in here. All right. At least a cent. So I could decide, all right, I'm going to go back to my main account, go back to my wallet. I can decide to send a little bit of Avalanche. I should be able to send it straight over to my other account, right? It's this simple, you guys. All of this I can do on my MetaMask. I can go back to the MoveQuest that I had up. I make sure that my account is up that I wanted to do. All right. I might have to put in my activation code, what I want to do. Bank of Gerald, right? Save it. Now that I have the Avalanche in here, I can go ahead and confirm. It'll do what it needs to do. Well, it should already. Let me hit connect wallet at the top just to make sure. Okay. You want to make sure you hit connect wallet at the top. All right. So now it's going to prompt me to download the app. So I can click on any one of these links and it'll take me to the app. If I click on the app for the Apple Store, of course, it's going to bring me right to the MoveQuest app where I can open it up and get rocking and rolling. All right. That's when I would need to make sure I have my wallet address copied, right? You go back to the front. You can, I would say, finish the setup first. Then you can go back to the front. You go ahead and get the wallet address for the account that you wanted to. Why is it not going over there? It should take you. It should take you over there to that wallet, so that you can get the wallet address. You can do it like that if you want to. Copy the address. And then you go into the MoveQuest app. I can go ahead and disconnect from this one. It's already new process. Link. Paste. It's going to tell me what's in my spending wallet, right? You see I have nothing there, okay? So what I would do is I could copy this. Should be able to press that. There we go. Address copied, right? Then I can go over here, back to my Avalanche. Then I can send, you know, maybe I'll send, how much I have? I have $5, something like that. I'm going to send 75% of that's about $5. All right. Then I would have to paste this address in here. Allow the paste. Confirm. It's going to do its thing, submitting that $5 over there. I jump back into my MoveQuest app. As you can see, I've got 0.5741 Avalanche in the wallet right now. Funded my spending wallet. Then I can set up my PIN, whatever I want it to be. You know, you get that handled. I'm going to stop the share real quick so I can do that. Put a PIN in there. All right. I'm going to bring it back up for you guys. It's really simple, everyone. You swipe that over and boom, you're in the system. For those new people, you'll have the opportunity then to jump in here and do submissions for the last couple days. All right, so as you can see, I can jump in there. Not enough shares to it'll update itself. It's just, I think it's still just because it's loading up and everything. But it's, as you can see, I have steps in there. I have calories in there. I have distance in there. All right. I can go to my spending wallet, see that that's there. My external wallet is read only, so it'll show you how much Avalanche I have in that wallet to be able to do stuff over there with. The ability to purchase Q-chips I would do in the back office. I would do in the Web3. So I'd go here, get back into my back office here, right? I could go to the store, scroll on down to purchase Q-chips. And if I had that money in my Avalanche right now, if I had $500 in this Avalanche wallet, I could go in here and decide to buy as many Q-chips as I want, right? All of this you can do just going back and forth from the application to MetaMask and to the Web3 of MetaMask. It's very, very simple. Once you get those Q-chips, you come back here, you'll see, of course, you want to, the one thing that I did mention this, but you go to wallets, and then you'll want to take those Q-chips along with whatever else you want to fuel your in-app wallet in, whether it's MQT, Q-chips. You might purchase MQT from SushiSwap, all right? You might go up here to the dashboard and say, hey, I need to buy some MQT. So you click on buy. Next thing you know, you're here to buy MQT. It shows you how much Avalanche you have in your wallet. You can decide to turn that, You could say, hey, I want to take one and turn it into this MQT, right? Swap it right there. It's reading the wallet. You can decide to do that. So all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to know that this is not something that has to be a hard thing to participate in. It's actually quite easy to participate in MoveQuest. It does take a little bit of knowledge of how to use some of these applications like MetaMask and different things of that nature. But it's very, very easy to do. It's very doable. And to share your links with people, you can have a link here. I highly suggest everyone go to your settings and create a username. All right. So this would be, I'll say BOJ test 2. Save it. Confirm it. And now I have a username. So when I go to share, if I want to share this with somebody, I can go ahead. I should be able to see it right here. But it'll say, you hit copy link, and it should say your movequest.com/start/BOJ test 2, right? So that's what it'll show. Well, it should show. I'll refresh it, see if it. There we go. So now we see BOJ test 2. If I copy the link, it'll say movequest.com/start/BOJ test 2. So then all I got to do is go into their, they can go into here, I copy the link. They just put it in the browser, on their MetaMask browser. They can go straight there, and it'll bring you to the startup process for the person that's getting ready to go, right there on MetaMask. All right. You want to make sure that you have some crypto. You want to make sure that you purchase some crypto. All right. You're going to want to have some Avalanche. You're going to want to make sure that you add the tokens. And here's another thing I can show with you guys, just because you guys are still watching, for those of you that are still watching. When you are on the Web3, right, you go to the settings. Actually, it's under the help bar, that little question mark with the circle around it. And you go to contracts, right? You say, I want to see MQT in my wallet for MetaMask, okay? So what I would do is I would take this wallet address for Avalanche. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to come back out to the home. There's a plus bar right here. And I don't know if you guys were able to see that, but this plus bar is across from the Avalanche to the drop down here. It's on the other side of that. So we would hit the plus bar. We want to hit custom token, right? We want to make sure we're on the Avalanche chain or whatever chain that we're getting that from. And it'll show us on there when we go back and forth. So we add that token address. We hit next. We should be seeing MQT. You hit next, import, and then you'll have MQT, the MoveQuest token, right there for you. All right. Another one that you can do just to test, if you want, and make sure that you're understanding this, you go to contracts again. You might want to add the Q chips on there. So if I take this custom token address, I can copy it. And this is just things that you learn as being a part of crypto, ladies and gentlemen. So don't feel like this is, don't feel intimidated by this. It's very easy. Custom token, as we know Q chips are. Avalanche chain. Paste. Next. Q chip. Next. Import. So now when you accumulate Q chips, you'll see them here. Right? So for my one of my other accounts, for my main account, I have, or I should have, some Q chips. Do I have any Q chips here? Maybe I don't. Maybe I sent them. I put them in my in-app wallet. That's what I did. All right. But I should be able to send them to another wallet if I decide to, if I had them available. All right. So all of these things that you can do, you can bounce back and forth between accounts. You don't have to really have a whole bunch of devices and different stuff like that. You can have up to 10 different wallets on your MetaMask wallet. I think I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's either 10 or 12. I'm not exactly sure right now. But I know I have at least 5. And this Loom, I was deciding whether I was going to take apart a Loom or not. But I decided not to click on anything. So I could decide to just delete this. But anyway, all that being said, this is an easy way to just be able to maneuver back and forth. You have the Web3 browser here. If you save MoveQuest, it's one of the places that you can get to directly. It's very easy to get to where you need to get to, whether you're on the Web3 on your phone or the desktop, right? It's very easy to participate in MoveQuest. So I know this video was like a run-on sentence, but hopefully it got a lot of value out there to the folks. I do want to reiterate for the folks that did just finish their challenge that you will have the mining power that you finished your challenge with. So rest assured that'll be there for you. All right. So don't worry too much about that. Just continue to do what you're going to do. Participate in the hatchery. If you are thinking that you're going to get the full benefit from the hatchery and not submit, then you're thinking the wrong thing. You're thinking the wrong way. The benefit of the hatchery is to incentivize us to submit on a day-to-day basis. That is what it's there for, and it's rewarding us for doing that, all right? And also, let's not forget that we are here to be hopefully the best versions of ourselves, and being active and moving and doing all that thing purposefully is one of the things that's going to allow us to get there, all right? So with that being said, I want to cut this video off so I can go ahead and post it for you guys. It's going to be long enough for you guys. Anyway, thank you guys for diving in and tuning in for the whole time. Put your 2FA on all the platforms that will allow you and all of your wallets, because crypto is indeed the wild, wild west, y'all. If you ain't strapped, you're bound to get hacked, all right? Ask me how I know. It ain't very fun, all right? If you like this content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you want to be updated and notified about everything going on here at BLJ, make sure you hit the notification bell as well. And please, sir, and please, ma'am, don't get scammed by the Telegram man or the WhatsApp man or anybody out there trying to get your wallet address or your wallet keys or anything like that. Let's stay diligent and vigilant in this space and in the comment section as well. See you on the next one. Peace out.